Navigating the Radio Equipment Directive, RED, essential requirements and compliance for electronic devices. The Radio Equipment Directive, RED, sets requirements for health and safety, electromagnetics compatibility, and efficient use of the radio spectrum for all radio equipment that emits radio waves below 3000 GHz. It replaced the Radio and Telecommunication Terminal Equipment Directive in 2016, and all products must comply with the RED by 2017. The directive covers products such as Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, LTE, and 5G enabled devices, including laptops, tablets, and smartwatches. The directive also regulates technical features and privacy and personal data protection, fraud protection, and compliance regarding the combination of radio equipment and software. Over 150 harmonized standards can be found on the European Commission's website. Join us as we dive into this directive with Nadine, our compliance officer.
Hello, me again. Let's dissect the next directive. The Radio Equipment Directive, also known as the RED, sets essential requirements for health and safety, electromagnetic compatibility, and the efficient use of the radio spectrum for all radio equipment which emits radio waves at frequencies below 3000 GHz. This directive was previously known as the Radio and Telecommunication Terminal Equipment Directive, or the R&TTE Directive. The R&TTE Directive was repealed in 2016, and all new and existing products were expected to comply with the RED by 2017. The most significant changes between the RED and the R&TTE Directive are: 1. The exclusion of telecom terminal equipment that has no radio interference. These now fall under the scope of the LVD and EMC directives. 2. The addition of cable and wiring equipment. 3. The RED aligns with the new legislative framework, which replaces the new approach. 4. The requirements for the software and equipment capable of taking different configurations. 5. There are no voltage limits for radio equipment under the RED, so even battery-operated equipment needs to comply with the safety requirements. The RED is not only for radio equipment, but also regulates some additional aspects like technical features for the protection of privacy, personal data, and protection against fraud. It also covers some further aspects, like compliance regarding the combination of radio equipment and software. There are over 150 harmonized standards which fall under this directive. The standards cover anything from fixed radio systems to satellite earth stations. All these standards can be found on the European Commission's website. So, what type of products are covered by this directive? Well, any product which is Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, LTE, 5G, GPS enabled, as well as any other radio electrical enabled device sold in the EU. So that's most electronic devices nowadays, right? So essentially all products which use a radio frequency as part of the functionality. Examples of these are video game consoles, laptops, Bluetooth earphones, watches, speakers, tablets, high or low frequency radio frequency identification devices, and many more. So do you need to involve a notified body in your assessment procedure? Well, for this directive, a notified body may be involved depending on which conformity assessment procedure applies to your product. So you as the manufacturer would specify which essential requirements the notified body needs to assess. For example, your product might only require the EMC aspects to be assessed by the notified body. That's it for this lesson. Let's move on to the next one.